Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I was hoping to relaunch this channel on more of a positive note with some clothing hauls, and don't worry, I have lots of clothing hauls coming, but I felt like it's story time. So where do we start? First of all, I'm in hospital. See? And I don't know, I guess we'll start this at the beginning. It's been quite a journey, this hospital experience. So I guess where we start is the long weekend, which was, I think, 2-3 weeks ago. So anyway, I'm away with my friends. It's super windy. I've got the worst sinus, and I'm like, I think I have a sinus infection. We got home and it gets to about Tuesday, and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a sinus infection. Every time I roll over, I can feel it all drain, and then my nose is getting blocked. I roll the other way, I can feel it all drain back into my sinus, and my nose is clearing. But then I start having all these other symptoms that are completely unrelated. I keep getting a really bad pain in my side. I have no appetite. I have really bad reflux. Anything else? I think that's majority of it. So anyway, I'm just there laying in bed, dying, in really bad pain, really bad sinus, head cold, headache from the sinus. And yeah, then the pain in my side just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Gets to Friday and hubby's like, you need to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. Told her I thought I had a sinusitis, sinus thing, and she's like, yeah, sounds like that's pretty, bang on with what you've told me. And I started telling her about the pain and stuff, and she says she thinks it's gallstones. Not surprising, I had gallstones in my last pregnancy. Baby's now 8 months old. So, I knew I had gallstones, but she thought it was like a gallstone attack. Now, I hadn't felt anything from my gallstones since Bub was born. So I was a bit like, oh, well, that sucks. So she sent me for an ultrasound. They did an ultrasound. She then rang me that evening and said I didn't need to rush to hospital, but she did need to see me pretty urgently. So I went back to see her on Monday, and by then I was really sick. I was vomiting up into my mouth. I was coughing up stomach acid. Sorry, I know this is quite graphic, but it is what it is. And the pain in the side was worse. I couldn't eat anything. I tried eating toast one day, and the toast made the pain worse. And what else? Oh, I started not to be able to drink water. Drinking water was making me sick and making me retch and stuff. So she was like, look, I'm reluctant to send you to hospital because they're so overburdened right now, but here's a referral for a doctor. So I rang the doctor, the surgeon. He couldn't do the surgery for at least a month. So I was like, that's it. I'm just too sick. I just have to go to hospital. Oh, well, I waited till the next day, and by then I couldn't drink anything. And I was like, I just need to go to hospital. I'm so dehydrated. So I went to hospital. And there I sat in the waiting room for over 12 hours. I mean, in that time, I did see a nurse. She did take my obs. She gave me some painkillers. And then I sat and they gave me some fluids through an IV drip. And I had a chest x-ray. And then I spoke to a surgeon. All that happened before lunchtime. The surgeon said that it could just be a viral thing, like a cold or a flu, that can sometimes cause abdominal pain, which I thought was interesting because it's localized to one spot. So I don't know what flu causes aches and pains in one part of your body only. But apparently she was like, I'm just not convinced it's worth doing surgery. So anyway, so then, yeah, I sat there for 12 hours or over 12 hours all up. It got to 12 hours and I had to go to the nurse. I'm like, look, I'm really sorry. I know how busy you guys are, and I know Like there are no beds or anything, but I'm just at my limit. I'm so tired, I'm so sore, and I'm feeling so sick. I cannot sit in these really uncomfortable chairs like a minute longer. Could I go home and come back in the morning? She's like, let me talk to my supervisor and see what I can do. She's like, I feel really bad. I've been sitting there watching you like this. But yeah, we're just so busy at the moment. I was like, I totally understand. Like, I'm not having to go. Like, this isn't your fault. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. So she went off and talked to her supervisor. They in the end found a reclining chair for me in a room of like old people that were coming in via ambulance who were all sort of like disorientated and stuff. But that was fine. So I sat in this reclining chair. They gave me a warm blanket. Like life was a bit better. Then they moved me to a bed in emergency temporarily. And then at midnight, I got put in a bed. And I found out why it took so long to get me a bed was because, well, true, they don't have any beds. But also, apparently I had tested positive for influenza A. Which I was very surprised about. So I needed to go into an isolation room by myself, and they were short on those. But they got me one, and about midnight I got in. The influenza thing really threw me because I didn't even feel like I had a cold. Like I had a bit of a cough, but every time I coughed, my mouth was filling full of stomach acid. So I thought it was just like, a cough from that, like a refluxy cough, not a cough. So anyway, then we continue our journey. So I'm in a bed in a ward. The doctor comes and talks to me, and he's like, yes, you have gallstones. We looked at your scan from Friday, and it doesn't look like there's any blockages or no urgency to do this, but obviously you can't eat or drink, so we'd like to see if we can figure that out before you go home, but you do look like you need surgery, but the theaters are pretty full, so it's like, do we do it now? Do we do it later? We're just all sort of talking about it. Fair enough. The next day he comes and talks to me and says, yeah, we're going to put you on the surgery list for today. I was like, thank God for that, because I was getting worse and worse every day. But then halfway through the day, this anaesthetist, who I'm sure was out to ruin my life, came in and she was like, oh, we just don't want to do the surgery. I just don't want to do the surgery on you because you got influenza. And if you've got influenza, the risk factors go way up. And I just don't think it's worth doing the surgery. And I'm going to go talk to the surgeon and tell him not to do it. And I was like, I totally understand that. But I actually don't feel like I've got influenza. I don't even feel like I have a cold. Like I'm starting to wonder if it was like a false positive or something. And she's like, didn't even listen to me, just like, no, I'm going to go talk to the surgical team now. So she went and talked to the surgical team, and they took me off the surgery list. And then my surgeon comes back in, and he's like, look, the anaesthetist said she doesn't want to do it, and she's convinced everyone else not to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go send you for another ultrasound and see if there's not a reason to push to do it. So he sends me for an ultrasound. That was in the early evening. So I didn't hear anything till the next day, which was Friday. So I came in Tuesday. We're now at Friday. So Friday morning he comes in. He's like, okay, we looked at your ultrasound. It turns out that there is a stone stuck in your bile duct, which is why you're so sick. And that does mean that it's urgent enough that we need to do surgery. So I was like, yay, finally, someone's listened. Oh, hang on, I'll be back. Okay, where was I? We had an interruption from the pharmacist. So I'm trying to think where I was. I was on Friday. What was I talking about on Friday? Oh yeah, they finally put me on the surgery list because stone was caught in my bile duct. This annoyed me a little bit. I've had a lot of medical issues, and no one ever believes me. Everyone's just like, oh, it's just some gallstones, you'll be fine. But it wasn't. There was like a stone stuck in my bile duct, and I was really sick, and I couldn't eat anything, and I was losing over 1 kilo a day, and I couldn't drink water. Like, that's not normal. But this always happens. Anyway, someone finally listened to me. My surgeon was great. He was like, I'm going to fight for you. Like, there's no spots on the surgery list, but I know you got kids at home to get home to, you know, you got a baby. Like, I'm going to fight for you. So he did. He was great. And yeah, went in, had the surgery. I think everything's fine because I haven't heard, like, anyone hasn't said anything. Had my first meal last night in over 9 days. I had chicken in some sort of like creamy-ish sauce and some potatoes. And sorry, I got a bit of reflux. And I had raspberry jelly and some pineapple juice. And I actually spilt some of the pineapple juice when I was trying to open it into the chicken. And I was like, oh no, it's ruined. But you know what? I was so hungry. And I hadn't eaten for so long. I actually think it made it better. I was like, you know, Hawaiian chicken, let's just say. It was fine. But it was so nice to be able to eat again. I've just had breakfast. So things are looking good. I feel so much better. Like, I got a little bit of reflux, but compared to what I had before, like, that was fine. I've had reflux since I was a kid, so we're like back down to like normal levels, which is nice. I don't feel sick at all. I can drink water. You know, I'm a bit sore where the surgery was, a bit, feel a bit battered and bruised, but, you know, that's fine. I'd rather that than like feeling like I'm dying constantly. Sorry, rang out of space on my phone. So yeah, it has been a journey. Oh, there's another thing I wanted to tell you about. So last night, right, I've just come out of surgery, like within a couple hours, and this nurse is like, I want to talk to you about your endone consumption. You shouldn't be having endone if you're breastfeeding a baby. It's so bad for the baby, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh shit, I've been taking endone all week. Like, one of the doctors said something. She's like, I don't know, someone should have talked to you by now. So anyway, today the pharmacist came to talk to me, like literally while I've been doing this video. And he was like, I just want to put your mind at rest that taking endone while breastfeeding like is fine. Our studies show like some goes through to the baby, but not really very much, especially at the doses you've been having. And I was like, oh good, because this nurse was like freaking me out, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. And I was like, it's okay, like, you know, some people are just super judgmental in life. And I was like thinking, surely one of the doctors would have said something. He's like, yeah, if it was bad for your baby, we would have stopped you from doing it. So anyway, we came up with a plan for medication to go home on. I don't think I'll need it much, maybe just for the first couple of days. The only problem is when Caden's breastfeeding, he's quite a kicker, and obviously like a lot of my incisions and stuff, like I've got one in between my cleavage and one under one of my boobs, and then obviously your gallbladder is sort of like under my right boob / rib cage, so it's prime kicking real estate. So some painkillers will probably be needed, but I think I had some endone at 4 a.m. and it's now like 9:30 and I haven't had anything else, so I'm not doing too bad. I think I'll be fine. Sorry, I really am so aware that I need some like chapstick. So dry in this hospital, and obviously I was on a drip for days because I couldn't drink any water. So yeah, desperately need some chapstick or something. Yeah, anyway, the only other thing I wanted to mention was weight loss. So when I came in on Tuesday, I had already lost 9.2 kilos doing this. I weighed myself on Friday before I went to the doctor, and then I weighed myself again on Sunday, and I had lost, in just those few days, I had lost, I want to say 3.5 kilos. So I know that all that weight loss is just from this time. Now, obviously, I haven't weighed myself since Tuesday morning, and it's now Saturday. So when I get home, I'm very interested to see what my overall weight loss is. So before I finish this video, I will just slice that in at the end. But yeah, that is my hospital gallbladder removal story. If you have any questions, please put them in like down in the comment box, and I'll try and address any of them I can. For those of you over in my Facebook community, thank you so much for all the support. Honestly, it means the world to me. And guys, I have quite a lot of haul videos coming up. Sorry to the Facebook community. You will have seen a lot of them, but I'm going to talk way more about size, like how true to size things are, what the fit's like, what the fabric's like, what the cost was, do I think it's worth it. So it's going to be way more in depth. So you might want to check those out. But obviously, just give me like a little bit to recover, but I really want to start getting back into that because I am super motivated and it's super fun. Also, I have a new filming room that I want to show you guys. I haven't really done anything with it yet. I have a plan. I just need to be able to afford to buy the furniture, but instead I keep buying more clothes. Also, it's my son and my daughter's birthday coming up in August, and they're both having a big party because their last few they haven't been able to do because of isolation, so they deserve a big party. So I'm also paying for that. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to properly decking out the filming room. I think I might just steal some things from around the house to sort of make it work for now, and then maybe we'll do like a go shopping with me transformation video sort of thing. Don't know. Let me know in the comments what you want. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I'll check back in with my weight update at the very end, and yeah, see you next time.